I'm here.
Welcome to the Talking Over Transformers podcast video show. Uh, I'm Jake,
I'm
host.
Rick. All right.
Yeah, and we do a podcast, and now we're making a video version of that. So
People like videos.
we're gonna let Rick walk us through the G1 Optimus Prime because it's a thing we can do on video. So
That's right.
that's what we're gonna
All right,
do.
Jake.
Um, I
All
think
right,
that's
Jake.
pretty
Well,
much
let's.
it.
I think I had an ultimate goal of deciding which Optimus Prime would be best for you to buy, since you don't currently own an Optimus Prime toy. But
No, I don't.
first, let's start first with this one here. This is Generation One Optimus Prime. This is the most recent reissue, which is an all new steel mold. They just straight up remade the mold to crank out new Optimus Primes, and that's what this is. But it is very much the same toy as the original. Um, Now, Optimus Prime, the G1 toy, is brilliant. It's probably one of the greatest Transformers ever designed because it's intuitive and yet it's perfect in both modes. You rarely get a transformer that's perfect in both modes. The G1 Optimus Prime, I've already transformed it. You'll see this truck mode is amazing. There's nothing wrong with it. It seals up the back of the cab. It looks good from every angle. The bed is maybe a little plain, a little not quite realistic, but you put a trailer on that and you can't really tell. Um, but it has rubber tires, die cast in the forward position there. So it carries a little weight. This is by far Optimus Prime in Transformers G1 was the toy that made the toy line. It's the killer app of the toy line.
Yeah, I
It's brilliant.
remember when I came to visit, that was the first thing you showed me. You were like, check out this G1 Optimus.
And I don't. Did you transform it? I don't remember.
I think I watched you do. I think maybe I was afraid to fuck with it, but it was
It's
transformed.
very intuitive. And so in robot mode, you do have to attach his fist, which is very yeah, it's very 80s, very Diaclone. And that's where the toy started. I think Forrest knows more about the Diaclone shit, or at least he's got some stuff, maybe research that he could tell us about. Forrest, what do you want to say about Diaclone Optimus Prime?
Oh, it was just that it was named, I think it was originally called Battle Convoy,
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
and it was designed by Hiroyuki Obata, with concept work by Shoji Kawamori. That's all I
And that
really got
concept
there.
work is a wooden toy design, a
Mm.
wooden toy prototype that was made by him that has a lot of the basic concepts there. They're not all there, not everything's worked out yet, but the basic idea of folding the legs out from the back of the robot and having the arms come from the back of the robot. Like, it's a shape that lends itself to a humanoid form and also a pretty good truck mode. That's why when you see a lot of cosplayers that build their own transforming cart like costumes,
Hmm.
Optimus is a popular choice because it just sort of works with human anatomy. Um, it does. The original toy does have what we might consider some modern articulation in that it has elbows with and it has shoulder joints. Um, that's kind of it does have knees, but they're not usable knees, not really, because the leg bends back. Um, but G1 Optimus Prime, brilliant. And then so later on, the Transformers, we're talking last year, right? For Missing Link Optimus Prime, 2024's Missing Link Optimus Prime. It is a complete re redesign, reuse of the original mold. This toy looks exactly the same in every way, but for a handful of, they didn't want the hands to come off, so they transform. but like it's a 1-to-1 remake of the original G1, but with the modern articulation that people expect. So it's kind of a weird combination. It doesn't always look super slick in either in poses, but I love Missing Link. We all love Missing Link. I think we all like. So if you want a G1 Optimus and you have the option to get a Missing Link, be it the anime version or this here, the other version that comes with the trailer with the piss yellow windows, um, pick it up. Jesus Christ! If you like Transformers at all, G1 Optimus is a toy to buy.
Yeah, you got to get
either in Missing Link or in reissue. There is a 40th anniversary reissue that has some like more cartoon accurate repainting on the toy, but it's the G1 toy, not the Missing Link toy that has the extra joints.
It's not just extra joints, like the things that would be decals on the original toy. Like
no, they're painted. At least they are on this thing. Model.
That's nice.
This thing, they're not even painted. They're like molded in.
Or tampographs, yeah.
No, that's sweet. Like this is actually on the Missing Link. It's like
a separate piece,
an actual molded piece. Go grab your Missing Link, Rick.
Oh, I'm looking at my camera. Let me look at your camera. All right, so which particular parts are you talking about?
Like right there. Where's my camera? Right there. It's a molded in thing. It's not like a paint or sticker or anything. It's great. Really good toy.
In fact, Missing Link was the toy that kind of won you over onto this whole Transformers thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I was. You talked me into getting the Missing Link because I was like, "Oh, that seems cool." I remember yelling across the room at you in the Zoom, being like, "Should I get this?" And you're like, "Yeah,
of course."
And then I was like, "That's going to be the only Optimus Prime I need. I don't need to buy any more. I'm good. It's perfect." And I didn't buy any more Optimus Primes. That's
the only one. That's the only character named Optimus Prime you've ever bought.
It's the only one.
And you never bought any other Transformers at all, ever?
No.
He met all of his Transformers needs with that.
So I just sorry,
yeah, ahead,
I want to take advantage of this pause conversation real quick, just since this just to say fuck ice up top, just so that's on the table. All right. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
American fucking Gestapo.
So, yeah,
I don't know if you're in favor of Nazism, then you support ICE. There you go. If you support ICE, you're a Nazi.
Rick, speaking of the Missing Link. You have the deluxe, right? You have the Legacy Deluxe Optimus Prime. That's just like the cheap version of the Missing Link.
I'm glad you brought that up for us because Jake, you were like, hey, I'm a man who likes Transformers, but I'm not a man who has a lot of disposable income to just spend on every Transformer that comes out there. Right. And which I would say, you should buy what you could probably still acquire on BBTS or whatever the hell for a reasonable price, this deluxe legacy G1 Optimus Prime, which basically gives you what Missing Link does. It's not a 1-to-1 remake of G1 or Missing Link, but it does everything it does at what, $25? It's insane. What you're getting, this is the toy I fucked around with more than any other Transformer last year. I'm sorry. I mean, fiddled with more than any other Transformer I played with last year. And I would recommend this to anyone who wants a Transformer, a G1 Optimus Prime, but is like, I'm not going to pay what they want. No, don't. Go buy this. This is a blessing from Hasbro. It's one of the best things they've ever done for you, is to give you the G1 experience with better articulation at a lower price point. And
I remember you talking about that when it came out. Yeah, it was.
Get yourself the Legacy Generation 1's Optimus Prime. Do it.
So
you have one too, Forrest? Do you have one? I can't remember.
No.
You both have
thought it looked like crap when it came out, and now I've been won over to it, but I have other things I need to buy. Other Transformers I need to buy.
You guys, you guys both have that. What was it like the Studio Series 86 Optimus?
Oh, you mean?
Oh yeah.
You mean the best? You mean the best Optimus?
Yep, that
Yeah,
guy.
Mainline has never produced a better G1 Optimus Prime than this. It looks exactly like the cartoon. It looks like MP44 at a quarter of the price. It's amazing.
Rick's never transformed his.
Rick's never transformed it.
Don't need to. I don't need to transform it. I know what it looks like. It's a truck.
It's pretty sweet. Which one has the beefiest?
It really is.
Which is the beefiest Matrix?
The one with the beefiest Matrix would be the what is it? The Brave Commander Optimus Prime.
Does that have the beefiest? I would believe
got
that
a pretty beefy Matrix.
Look at this. So Jake, this is a TF1 Optimus Prime.
Matrix.
Oof, that's nice.
Okay, yeah, nice.
That's actually a really good Matrix.
Oh yeah, I can tell because he has like the rounded shoulders more. That's how I see the. So when did?
So you were saying?
Sorry, go on.
Jake, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
You like these Transformers, and the original comic book came out on my birthday in 1984, but then the original cartoon came out much later, fall of '84. Did anything happen? Maybe politically, the election, maybe the presidential election of 1984. What might have happened on that same day?
It's interesting.
Smooth. You bring that up.
Tell we planned that.
No. Nope. It's weird that you mentioned that though, because it just so happens that there was an election happening, and Ronald Reagan and Walter Mondale had a debate.
Did Walter Mondale win that election?
The Majority Report caller?
No, this is a whole other guy for us.
The Majority Report caller. Ronald Reagan, yes. The Star Wars guy.
Yeah, and which is also interesting, not just because it marked a different time. It was a lot of many people have said over the last 10 years that it shows a different kind of politics maybe than we have now. Maybe it's a little bit different, but also Ronald Reagan largely responsible for Transformers and G.I. Joe being on TV.
Wow.
Oh yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, well, I know what you mean by that because we planned this out ahead of time. But why don't you go on, Jake?
Oh yeah, I was paying attention.
Well, I figured honestly that you know more about it than I do. But yeah, apparently Ronald Reagan appointed Mark Fowler as the new head of the FCC in 1981.
That motherfucker.
Yeah. One of the first things he did. Yeah, that was what and that was his thing.
Yeah, he knows what he did. He allowed those Gillette "It's the best a man can get" commercials to be educational TV for millions of children throughout the 80s.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was part of.
How else would you know what to get?
Yeah.
That's the best that you could possibly get.
That was a part of, there was something called the ACT, which was
the
like
act?
a sort of
the act.
It's not an act. They were like
the act referendum.
The Action for Children's Television formed in 1968 in Massachusetts.
Right. Oh, this is the thing that basically creates like Sesame Street and shit like that.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And so the reason that those regulations were there in the first place is because of this. and apparently
Netflix's Sesame Street.
HBO Sesame Street.
No, it moved. No, HBO sold it. It's on Netflix now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's a bummer.
First airings on
the
PBS.
The count is like 1 million in my bank account. 2 million in my bank account.
But it's public broad. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's first airing on PBS, but HBO had the rights to it, and now Netflix. Sorry, I digress.
I didn't grow up in the original era of Sesame Street, but I did grow up in the second era, so I got to witness a ton of their cool like 70s based. Like to me, Sesame Street is a very 70s show. I know it didn't remain that way, but to me, that's how it feels. And I understand that's because this 1968 ruling that puts the show on the air around 1970, 69 or 70, and it gets to wear this aesthetic, this bleak New York aesthetic that's really burned in my baby brain.
Don't do that to your baby, bro.
So anyway, yeah,
broken windows over here.
The oh man, okay. I got what was it? The Action Protecting Children?
The ACT.
The ACT. These folks. The Action for Children's Television. They I guess they fought the deregulation, and they brought expert testimony from child psychologists and stuff. They showed studies that showed that kids just can't distinguish the difference between an ad and reality.
Right.
And yeah.
No, but of course they can. I don't even know if I agree with that. Fucking libs.
You think?
I know I was a kid. I knew what it was because the goddamn Transformers. They told you after these messages, we'll be right back. Like they're telling you you're going to commercial. You stupid kid.
No, kids are dumb. That's
why, messages.
That's why they believe in, what was it Stephen King said? The Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, and the Epstein list.
But did you know when you were a kid that you were watching? Rick, did you know when you were a kid that you were watching a commercial though?
So
I think that's what they're saying.
No, I would know when I was watching the commercial portion because I'd be like, this is the part of the half an hour I don't like. I didn't know I was watching a commercial when it got to the part where I did like, when it was the Pac-Man half-hour pleasure era or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Like that. They fooled me with the stupid cartoon, not the ads. The ads to buy Mr. T cereal or whatever the fuck. I was like, that shit's gross. I'm not eating that. But when they show me the cartoon where Jetfire dies and I'm crying, like that's where they're getting me.
Yeah. Well, that was the effect of this was,
fucking Ronald Reagan, you capitalist.
Deregulating
fuck you,
advertising changes TV, and you could because you can do whatever now. For a little while you could. Let's see, I've looked up a few articles about this and they all kind of seem to use the exact same words, so I don't know what, and I can't find like the original sources behind some sort of paywall somewhere. Anyway, but this thing that keeps popping up is there's a 300% increase in cartoons that had licensed characters.
What does that mean? It went from 0 to 3?
Well, just see. I don't know how many were there.
That's not how math works, but I think that's what they mean.
Well, G.I. Joe Transformers, you might be right. And then Rubik the Amazing Cube.
What? No.
Yeah.
What?
So this is how I remember it.
No.
Like, if I may.
Hold on. Wait,
He-Man
wait. Hold on. Rubik the Amazing Cube?
Yeah, I watched that cartoon. You didn't watch that?
I need to look this up.
You have to watch it. It's not good. Hey, you should watch the Cubert cartoon. It's even worse.
That I've seen. My mom was obsessed with Cubert.
So this is the timeline I remember. So He-Man is by far the first to jump on this 1982. So 81 is when the FCC is deregulated. By the fall of 82, this He-Man thing is on the air. And it is designed by the Mattel Corporation to sell their He-Man toy line. It's nothing but a toy commercial.
Which I loved when I was a kid. I had all those. I had no idea I was watching.
So, and then G.I. Joe is 83 and Transformers is 84. Then it Mask is like 85. I don't specifically remember it. 86. Thundercats is 87, or maybe Thundercats is 86, and Mutant Turtles is 87. And then this phenomenon feels over to me. I don't recall a toy line franchise inaugurated as a cartoon after that. I moved on to Disney Afternoon, and you're getting, their properties, which those cartoons by and large are better cartoons than shit like the Sunbow stuff. So,
and I just thought of this, but for the sake of whatever, when did Convoy, that came after the movie, when that became a thing, right?
So here you go. This is really fascinating, Jake. So the Transformers, the 1984, the Transformers take a toy line that was already sold in America. Diaclone had been sold in America as Diaclone in 1983, but it didn't do well. And I don't even know if the Diaclone semi-truck was sold here. Other Diaclone toys were. But so Diaclone doesn't sell well, but Transformers Hasbro repurposes the same toys into the Transformers and kills in 1984. Japan sees how well Hasbro is doing with those toys as the Transformers, where they'd been selling them in Japan as Diaclone up until that point, and they say, let's just sell them as Transformers. So they release in 85, they release Fight Super Life Form Transformers. It's the 84, 85 cartoon, and start selling Convoy. That's what they named their character there. They take a toy that they've already sold to the public once, rename it, and sell it again as Convoy. And that Convoy is Optimus Prime. They're the same character. The Diaclone toy that it's based on that they had seen around before then, it just doesn't exist anymore. So Convoy doesn't exist until 1985. Optimus Prime predates Convoy by about a year or ish, 6 months, whatever. Likewise, we get the movie in 1986. They don't see the movie in Japan until 1989. They have 3 years of the Transformers that we don't even get, and they don't even see the movie. So their timeline, the timeline of the Transformers is insanely different for the folks in Japan than it was for American kids.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, is there's a whole, almost like a second Transformers, or I guess it's all the same Transformers, but it's like there were things that ran kind of parallel, like the Convoy thing.
Fight Super Robot Life Form Transformers, the 84, 85, 86 cartoons that are all under that brand in Japan. They are essentially the same cartoons that Americans get, just translated in Japan with Japanese voice actors. But in 1987, the U.S. gets the Rebirth, a 3-part ending saga to kill the Transformers, whereas Japan gets the Headmasters, and it just carries on like nothing happened because the movie never happened there. They didn't kill Optimus Prime. Nothing has happened. The Transformers continues on. And
they then kill
it really comes down
Prime very soon into Headmasters.
So as a child of this bullshit, I go and see the movie in 86. I see Optimus Prime die. I go to school in the fall of 86, 3rd grade. We're all in Transformers. The new line, the 86 line, is cool. The cartoon's kind of cool, but it's lost the big mystique. And no part of that, or no small part of that, is due to the fact that we've all gotten older from the first and second grade, like we're just not into that anymore. It's just like, we've seen the Transformers, whatever. And also all those characters that we love, the straight up characters that we just watched, spent 2 years. You're only 6, 7, 8 years old. 2 years of it has been spent watching these characters. Like, it's a big part of your life. They're gone. So, like, between kind of growing up and the death of these characters that you've fallen in love with, the Transformers in America dries up. And while it continues on through 87 with the Headmasters, 88, 89, 90 with the Action Masters, kids are caring less and less just as much as they cared more and more exponentially as 84, 85, 86 went on. They cared less and less exponentially as the years follow on. And the Transformers is essentially dead. G2 comes out, and like, I don't think it makes that much of an impact. Some younger kids, I'm sure people younger than me like it, but it takes until 96 with the Beast Wars before the Transformers to really come back as a franchise.
I had a question. What?
Oh, you go, Jake.
No, because I forgot it.
Oh. Where does Sunstreaker fit in? Because isn't he also one of the very
he's
early
the first,
Transformers?
It's the first toy designed by that the second guy you named on that designed Optimus Prime,
Shoji Kawamori.
Kawamori, excuse me. So sorry, folks. He, I believe, has a lot to do with the Sunstreaker toy. Now, you can TF wiki me on that. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's the first licensed car that turns into a humanoid shaped robot.
Yeah,
for better or for worse. The toy line that is the 1984 Transformers toy line is made up of basically the Diaclone, and then the what is it? What's the toy line? Shit. Anyways, there's toys that are supposed to be like Soundwave and Megatron, a lot of the Decepticon stuff. In the end, everything that's in the Transformers toy line is originally designed. Machine Robo. No, Machine Robo is, I think, that's the Bandai line. That's what becomes the GoBots, which also, Jake, you may not know this. GoBots predates the Transformers. While it ultimately gets absorbed by Transformers and Hasbro, GoBots was here first. And if you play with some G1 quote unquote Bandai GoBots, they don't have the character that the G1 Transformers have, but sometimes they're better toys. Period. See, I have a bug bite somewhere. I don't know what the fuck it is. But anyways, the Super GoBots, beautiful toys, magnificent. The brand name GoBots was owned by Tonka and ultimately was absorbed by Hasbro, and you see them reused from time to time. But it was the cartoon that made the comic book was also important, but I was never a reader of it. But the cartoon specifically was the thing that was like, if the GoBots was like for your 5-year-old little brother, the Transformers was for like your 8-year-old older brother. Like, that's what made it better. It was like, it felt like it was for your older kids.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck I was going to ask you, but I can't. I can't. It's gone. It's completely gone. Hey, well, how long have we been recording?
Micro change.
Wait, what?
So micro change. So micro change. That's exactly where the word I couldn't remember. Micro change is a concurrently running transforming toy line, along with Diaclone, where instead of the toys being cars and whatnot, there are other items that you might find in a kid's bedroom. That's the whole point, is that they're not disguised as real cars. They're disguised as toys that you'd find in a kid's bedroom. And that's why the Bumblebee whatnot has the penny racers, because And
Mm-hmm.
they're designed as toys for kids to play with. Ironically, G1 Megatron is more easily re-released in Japan than in the United States because in Japan it's easier to get a toy gun than it is a real gun. And in America, much easier to get a real gun than it is a toy gun. So
Well, I'm just gonna move on with this deregulation thing because I've completely fucking lost my place in my own head.
well, our man Ronald Reagan made it possible. If it wasn't for the anti-communist flavor of Ronald Reagan, then we wouldn't have gotten the unholy deregulation of uh, the the afternoon cartoon universe or
Well,
tide
I
pool.
was looking, and so this action for children thing, they lobby Congress to eventually get with the thing, but we're talking about with the PSAs to get some sort of, let's see, advertise. They wanted to limit advertising to 10 and a half minutes on weekends and 12 minutes on weekdays. And the cartoons would have to provide educational info. And then Reagan vetoed that, so that was never a thing. But apparently in 1990, there were new regulations put in place known as the Children's Television Act. But
Yeah, this is Bush one. This is post Reagan was always his administration never got in the way of making a children's cartoon more sugar and saccharin, uh, more ripe for child wallet rape.
But they still did that shit when I was a kid in after 1990. Yeah, you had that was still a thing, like the Toxic Avengers, which was, a cartoon based on a trauma movie. But that was basically just there to sell those toys, which were awesome.
Oh no!
Um,
Once Reagan opened the floodgates of this, it never stopped. They would tamper it down. They would change how it would appear, but it didn't really stop. And that's the mistake, really. It's like, well, I love the Transformers, and I love it as a capitalist franchise designed to sell me more and more of the same thing. Um, that wouldn't have been allowed in the 70s. In the 70s, you could have bought maybe you could have bought you could even buy a plushie of a Big Bird. It wasn't allowed.
Big Bird.
They wanted to separate the educational thing from the for sale thing.
so there's this article here. It's a Medium article, but again, this is the same article on
What about a low article?
other pages. But it says that in the 90s, what they would do would add clips of shows, or excuse me, they would the channels that would play like the Toxic Crusaders would play reruns of like Leave It to Beaver and say that that covered like social issues and therefore is educational. And so like they just had to have like a certain amount of time. It was like 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's
the G.I. Joe episode.
The commercial time was limited to 12 minutes per half hour.
You guys have seen the pork chop sandwiches PSA. Like the reason those resonate, those GI Joe PSA resonate, is because they actually aired those. They didn't air the Transformer ones. They were never aired because by then they realized they were getting away with not doing that. They didn't have to do that much to qualify for the educational information television credit.
Yeah, no, exactly.
GI Joe was the last show to have to comply with that. That's 83.
Well, they're saying in a ironic twist, they're saying like these the same channel that would show you a cartoon that is there to sell you toys would also play a rerun of G.I. Joe because it had that little PSA at the end of it, and they had fulfilled their educational content requirement, for the FCC.
Yeah, we'd stopped the fucking Ruskies with this PSA. Exactly.
So, but that reminds me. Can you guys tell me where the meme, the convoy, the kids screaming convoy comes from?
Yes.
What
Yes, I
the
can.
story behind that is? I've always wondered that.
Because he looks ready to do it, but I can't do it.
So there's to advertise that because they didn't get the movie, right? But they had to explain why there was no more convoy. Why convoy went away.
Right.
So they made over there in Japan, they made like
where they do crazy things.
Live action they built
shot?
they did crowd shots, and they built like a giant Optimus Prime corpse that they then
out of cardboard and fucking paper mache,
and they flew it over a mini city using like a little miniature helicopter and stuff, with like a big audience going convoy, 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 and it zooms into like a bunch of like white kid faces, like just crying.
Going, not Japanese people.
Which is a little confusing.
No, they understood. The Japanese understood that the Transformers, while it's their toys and basically their toy line, this is an American thing. They understood that, and so they loved it, and they were like, convoy, convoy, and it's this helicoptered-in corpse. They're cheering for him like he's about to come back to life and save them all.
And we've got the clip right there. And that's where Jake would edit it in. Yep, that was great.
And cut out the part where he says, "Yep."
Wow, damn. Boy, that was an amazing little clip.
I can't believe how much they loved Convoy.
Transformer 2010